So today I think I'm gonna do a real short video on fear. It's a small little word, 4 letters, but it's got the biggest impact on people. It's got a major hold on people. You have people who stop living life. You have people who went into depressions and they're anxiety ridden. And with the pandemic going on now more than ever, people's just allowing fear to take over. They're not living life no more. They're not happy no more. And I think we just need to get the word out there a little bit about fear. You have some people who have medical issues and they think, oh, this is it. This is what it's going to be. No, rise up from that. Work on self-healing, work on inner healing, and you can manifest anything. You can manifest better health. Our bodies, we are a soul in a physical body, having a physical experience in this body. We have the ability to heal ourselves, but it's mind over matter. You can't go around all the time telling everybody I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, and expect to be healthy. You need to know in your mind that you're going to overcome it. You need to know in your mind that I am loved, I am good, I'm good, I'm healthy. You can't keep dwelling on the negative. You have people who are stuck in dead-end marriages. You have people who are dealing with toxic relationships because they fear, will I make it? Will I make it on my own? Will I be able to pay my bills? Will I be able to take care of my kids? It's all fear-based. Step out of your comfort zone. Take fear on. Take it on, grab it by the head. Take it head on. One foot in front of the other. One step at a time, day by day. Just something you fear, look it in the eyes and take it on. I'm not saying pretend you're Hercules. I'm not saying act like you're fearless, because everybody knows fear has, especially right now with the pandemic, fear has at least a good 90% of the population. They're so homebound and they are so full of fear that there just isn't no happiness anymore. They're stuck. They're stuck in a rut. They think, this is it. We're stuck. This is the new life. And it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. I'm not going to get into too much detail. Like I said, it's just a short video. I just really feel that some people need to know that this isn't it. Life isn't supposed to be homebound, stuck, living in fear day after day after day. It doesn't. Life's supposed to be happiness. Life's supposed to be adventurous. Go make memories. Life passes by in the blink of an eye. Go make those memories. Don't sit and dwell on things you fear. Death doesn't stop us. Fear stops us. Fear stops us from living life. You get stuck with the what ifs, or can't do that because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of a thunderstorm. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid I won't make it on my own. Stop with the fear. Stop letting life pass you by. Seriously. Look at the fear. Acknowledge it. That's the first step. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you have a fear. And then go about conditioning your mind to, I'm going to do this. Whether it be, I'm in an abusive relationship. So I'm going to condition my mind instead of, I don't know if I'll make it on my own. I don't know if I'll be able to take care of my kids. How would I pay my bills? I'm going to condition my mind to, I can do this. I'm going to be okay. And one step at a time, you're going to take on that fear and you're going to learn what true happiness really is all over again. Because now you're not going to be sitting back fear-ridden, being stuck in all this fear. You're going to slowly let the fear fade away, and you're going to slowly push forward with what you want that's going to make you happy, because happiness matters. Sitting around, in a depression or anxiety-ridden, or you just sitting around in fear all the time, walking on eggshells, it's no life to live. It's really not. I truly think everybody needs to, my big thing, I have fears. My big thing is I journal. I love to journal, whether it's I write down, I'm totally pissed off today, kids are driving me nuts, blah, 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 blah. I'm putting that on paper, so therefore my mind is reading it as I'm saying it and putting it on paper, and I'm acknowledging it and I'm letting it go. I'm no longer going to have it stuck here. You see what I'm saying? Now my words are somewhere else so they can stay there. my mind's fresh and clear. You know, it's the simplest things. Sometimes, journaling it, writing it on a piece of paper and keeping it in a notebook, or even writing it down and then burning it. That's another good way. If you have a fear or something you no longer want, you can just jot it on a piece of paper and then go burn that paper, as if that fear is burning away with that paper. You no longer have that fear. And I don't suggest anybody just like Hercules it. Oh, hey, I'm fearless. I don't suggest that at all, because you're going to set yourself up for failure. You need to very slowly take on the fear. A lot of people, it could be simple, like, oh, I'm terrified. I'm not going to go to that amusement park because I'm terrified of roller coasters. You know what? So what? Go to that amusement park. Work your way up to that roller coaster. Get in that line. Stand in that line. Get on that coaster. I got this. I can do this. And for the next so many seconds, because roller coasters are only a couple seconds long, go for it. Feel that adrenaline rush. Feel how good it feels. And then I want you to feel how good it feels when you get off of that coaster and you can look at everybody. I did that. I did it. I feared it for so long and I did it. It's an amazing feeling when you finally take on the fear that you have. It could be anything. There's so many people that are fear-ridden, they don't leave their houses. It used to be where you would go in a grocery store and it was, if somebody had a mask on, they had something wrong or they were sick and everybody shied away from them. Now, if you go out in public and you don't have a mask on, people look at you like you have a deadly disease that they're going to catch off of you. It's because, your mind's become conditioned. It's all over. It's all over social media. It's all over the news. It's all over everywhere that this virus, this pandemic, you got to have your face coverings. And in all reality, what really is it? You know what I'm saying? You got your good and you got your bad. You got your people that believe everything that's being conditioned in their minds. And then you got your others who don't believe it, who think, well, that little old mask isn't going to stop it. But what it all boils down to is fear. It is all fear. Everything is fear-based. That news could put anything it wants on TV. That news could put on TV, the moon's made of gold, and if you find a way to get to the moon, you're going to live happily ever after and rich. You know how many people would believe that? That news could put on TV, don't drink your water because your water is poisonous with bacteria in it and blah, 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 blah. So then you're going to have the whole entire population not using their drinking water because their minds became conditioned with fear because of what they're being told. Live life for you. Don't live life based on what others tell you. Don't live life based on fear. You have to just find your way to work through it. Journaling is an amazing one. You journal down every little thing, even if it's, I'm extremely happy I had lunch with a childhood friend, or I'm frustrated, I'm having a bad day. That is one way to get your emotions out, and that way you have a fresh mind, because now it's over here, your mind's fresh, you don't have to live in that fear. You got some people, they're afraid to go out their doors. They're afraid of, well, what if I'm in the sun too long? What if I get sun poisoning or I get cancer from the sun? Or what if I, go out here and want to go to the store, but there's a drunk driver driving by? Because everything is fear-based. You have to find your happiness. You have to dig deep within and find that happiness. You can't allow fear to stop you. Death isn't what stops you from living life. Fear is. Fear completely stops you from living life. You need to get out. You need to make memories and just find that true happiness. If everybody was to continue living their life in fear, what kind of a life would we live? What about when we're old and gray and we got grandbabies? What are we going to tell our grandbabies? We didn't experience life because we lived a fear-based life? Or we were young, wild, and free and we lived this fearless life? You know what I'm saying? I think everybody just needs to think about that a little bit. Figure out what your fears are, acknowledge them, and then one at a time, work through them.